notre incapacité à pouvoir marquer des buts. C'est ça qui est le problème. Et on a eu beaucoup de situations, disons, dans les 2 matchs, on aurait quand même pu marquer 1 ou 2 buts. Mais comme je dis, c'est cette naïveté de cette équipe qui le montre. Et comme je dis, c'est le manque également de préparation que nous avons eu qui a fait ça, que les enfants manquent un peu plus de cohésion entre eux. Non, ce n'est pas, comment dire, une leçon, ce n'est pas ça. Non, il faut encore plus de temps pour travailler. Tout ce qui est jeu offensif, je pense qu'il faut vraiment avoir du temps pour le travailler. Et non, malheureusement, pas eu. Non, je ne suis pas trop inquiet déjà par rapport à ce qu'on a fait. Encaisser 3 buts, oui, je pense qu'on a quand même été monstrueux. Hein. Bon, la Côte d'Ivoire, elle passe, mais elle a encaissé 5 buts. Hein. Donc, pourtant, elle est en demi-finale. Donc, je pense que ce n'est pas le nombre de buts encaissés qui est important dans le match, c'est pourtant le nombre de buts que vous allez marquer. C'est là où nous, le bas blesse vraiment pour nous.
I think, yes, I agree with you, but in football, it's not about how many goals you conceded, it's about how many goals you're able to score. If that was the comparison, Cote d'Ivoire lost or has been scored 5 goals, and they are still even in the semi-finals. So the problem here is we just weren't able to make chances or take chances of our goals, and that's what was costing us. There's something we would work on with time, and we will train the boys for future tournaments.
Merci, coach. Merci. Bonne chance.
Merci bien. Merci, mon ami. Allez, à la prochaine. Merci bien.
Yes, another young coach cutting it straight there. It's post-match at the University of Ghana Stadium. We're here in Legon, and obviously things have calmed down now. The Black Satellites, if you missed the game, won by 2 goals to 0. At a point, it looked like they would run away with another 5-star performance. But in the second half, you could see clearly that the Beninois are tightened up and perhaps just saving their limbs for the semi-final. And the WAFU, this tournament, will take 3. The finalists and the bronze medalists for the Orange AFCON itself. We've heard from the Benin coach, and standing by is Lai Kingston, the Black Starlets coach. Let's go back and hear what he has to say.
Good evening and welcome to the press conference of the Ghana team after they beat Benin 2-0 at the WAFU U17 AFCON qualifier. With us this evening is Ghana coach Lai Kingston. And first question, coach, your team, can you please put your phones on silent? We are at the press conference, please. Thank you. Coach, your team is through to the semifinals of the competition. First of all, what is your analysis of the victory today and the qualification to the last 4?
Yes, thank you very much. For me, I think it's very interesting that I find myself in this seat or this position. It's something that I was working on. You know, I started this movement like 5-6 years ago. And I was very patient and then climbing up slowly to come to this day. So for me, coming into the tournament itself, it's a dream coming true. I play this competition. It's a different form of qualification as a player. And it's my dream to also go through the ranks as the way I did it as a player as well. So in this competition, we have a lot of good teams. Don't get me wrong. You can see a lot. I've managed to see all the teams, and everyone have his qualities, his strength. You can see today's game. It was very difficult for us. We're thinking that most people thinking that we're going to meet Benin, and it should be a walk in the park. For me, some of us that were in the game, it wasn't easy at all. You're playing against a team that are very physical. That they wanted to play long balls in behind your team. If you are not careful and you don't find the line well or you don't drop well, you will be punished. We were very lucky that we saw their game against Ivory Coast, and we all saw the way they held Ivory Coast till last minute. Ivory Coast got the 1 goal. So that gave us advantage to see what they are bringing on board. The only thing they have is to the goalkeeper playing the ball to one of the center backs, and if there's no pressure on the ball, they launch a long ball in behind the back line. For us, we want our 9 to put pressure on them as soon as possible. And you can see in the first half, we couldn't do that a lot. That's how come they had opportunity to kick long balls. But in the second half, for me, I think it got much better. Second half, too, they came up with a different game plan, which I give thumbs up to their coach. They put up 3 strong guys up front. So you have to push us to change our system into 3-4-3. But off the ball, we drop our full wing backs, making 5 at the back so that we can keep them silent. And I think it worked perfectly for us.
Monsieur, s'il vous plaît, traduis.
Vraiment, je suis content pour les qualifications d'aujourd'hui parce que moi aussi, j'étais un joueur quand j'étais jeune, de U17 aussi. Et vraiment, j'ai remarqué que toutes les équipes ont les qualités. Et nous aussi, on a analysé le jeu de Benin face à la Côte d'Ivoire et on a remarqué comment on peut les attraper ou comment on peut les surmonter. Et aujourd'hui, on a essayé de les surmonter et on a eu les victoires. Et on va dire on est content de ça. Merci.
Thank you very much. Anyone with a question, please raise your hands. Yes, gentleman in wine.
Coach, congratulations to you and to your team.
Thank you.
2 victories, qualification to the last 4. After the first game, one of the things that stuck out from your post-match was that as a technical person, you were not happy with the way your team performed. Were you happy with the way your team performed today?
Yes, absolutely. Like I said earlier on, that the way the Beninois play is very difficult to read them. You know, because you don't actually see exact what they wanted to do, but they wanted to go forward when they have the ball. You can see their center back, they launch the ball. If necessary, they have 3 big, strong guys right in front, kick the ball to them. But I like the way my back line dealt with it. Also, beginning we were playing 3 in the middle. The attacking 2 attacking players, they were a little bit high from the beginning, but later part they drop a little bit so that we can have a lot of options in the middle. So for me, like I said earlier on, I want us to be calm enough. The way we want to play, we want to be calm enough. Sometimes it's very difficult to play. We had 1 or 2 challenges with the way the ball moves on the pitch. It's a bit slow. So it slows the way we wanted to play. But for me, I think we dominated play today. Unlike against Ivory Coast, that in the first 45 minutes, it was 50-50. But in the second half against Ivory Coast, it got much better. I know the way I want my team to play, and I know our team have dominated a lot of opponents most of the opponents that we've played. Sometimes opponents comes in the game, but we always want to control the game, and today I think we control the game much better than against Ivory Coast.
La question à coach, c'est qu'après le premier match, il avait dit qu'il n'était pas content de l'estime des joueurs. Ils disent oui, parce que le premier match, on a mal joué. Mais le match contre les Bénin aujourd'hui, on voit que les Bénin étaient superbes dans leur stratégie. Ça veut dire qu'ils ont changé leur stratégie de temps en temps. Et nous aussi, on a au moins suivi ça. Mais ce qu'on peut réaliser, c'est qu'on était toujours calme en train de jouer. Et on a aussi dominé le jeu d'aujourd'hui. Ce qui me fait plaisir d'aujourd'hui.
Yes, gentleman in brown.
All right, Coach, one thing I've realized about your team is always in the opening minute, the squad looked quite nervous. Against La Côte d'Ivoire, we saw it. They don't tell just the match properly. Against Benin, also, they don't tell it properly. What do you think facing another opponent who could utilize those chances? They could be punished.
In the game of football, I think things can happen early minutes, and things can also happen later part in the game, and it's a good observation. For me, I think it's true. You have a very young boys that we developing them. This part of the world, I think we focus more on results. I believe other part of the world, this age group is just development. Any win is just a bonus, or qualifying to a competitive tournament is just a bonus. So for me, we have to develop the boys, give them that confidence. If at this stage, if my player makes mistake, It's part of it. It's part of his growth. So for me, what I believe in as a technical person, they are young, and we have to encourage them to play according to the certain style that if they go out there, if we're going to compete with teams in Europe and other parts of the world, these are kind of situations that is going to happen. We have to encourage them to be able to have confidence and make mistakes, and they learn from those mistakes. So for me, if we start to tell them to stop doing it, I don't think it's good for their development. And I really agree with you. It's true, you can't be punished, but when you get punished, how can you come back and then come into the game? And that is more challenging to them. They going down and then coming back. We've seen those situations in some of our friendly games. We were down by 1 goal, or maybe 2. I remember we came back, dominated play, came back, and then beat them by 4-2. So for me, I think it's always good for us to encourage these young boys and make sure we guide them well to the top.
For gender balance, lady, please.
Instructions and everything you do all the time. And then the same kind of energy you put in, like when you're playing.
Thank you very much. The first question was the passes.
Yes, 27.
Yes, for us, watching the way the Bedouins play against Ivory Coast, we realized we need to be very patient and then move the ball quickly. And as you can see, we started from the back. They were playing with 1-9. So we made our 2 center-back got close to them as much as we can, and then play close to their opponents. That's how come we provoke them, and then leave Ayamga, the goal scorer, and then Kagawa in the pocket space, so that center-backs can find them in those pockets. When they turn, offensive turn, they are right in front of the opponent box. So you can see that the moment they got there, beginning of the game, we had a lot of moments in the box, but it wasn't clear. One education that we gave them is, don't do anything in a haste. Anything you do, make sure you have full control over yourself before you do that. You can see Ayamga got 1 ball that he have to shoot, but he's not sure of himself. He took a touch, and then he played another pass. That was then. Then afterwards, he got that goal in that danger zone, that ball in that danger zone, after those passes. That's how come he play. And we don't encourage them to blast shots from 30, 40 yards. We have something that we call XG, expected goals. If someone is standing 40 yards or 30 yards and someone is in the box or the 6-yard box, who have more expected goals? The one in the box. That's what we believe in. That's why we make sure we play passes till we get to the danger zone before we try to score. Like the first goal, for instance, he was very patient. He was waiting for the goalkeeper to make mistake, and then he lobbed the ball behind. That's how come we've scored a lot of goals. And then the energy part. This is me. People that knows me from my childhood days, I have this energy. You know, as a player too, I always want to win. And I was lucky I have a lot of players around me that have the same character. Someone like Stephen Appiah, he doesn't like losing. Sule, ACN, we don't like losing. So we all have the same character. If today, those names that I've mentioned, you see them standing on the touchline, they will do worse than what I'm doing.
Your striker was more or less lost in the game.
Was it a game plan? Because they were, whenever they get a ball, instead of them to look at him, they would rather bring it back, try to strain the passes from behind. Was it a game plan?
Yes, it's a game plan. When we watch our game, we normally overload opponents in the wide area. So if you watch the way we break through, we have two types of breakthroughs. When we come in from the back and get into the opponent box, we normally keep the ball wide. The reason is we want to stretch the opponent back line. So if you watch our first goal against Ivory Coast, we started the ball from the wide area, the ball came to the middle, and then we played a very deep pass to the 9. The 9 drops to pull the 2 center backs in. So even this game, you can see once a while we see our 9 dropping because we realized they were doing man marking. So anytime you see the 9 dropping, is dropping to create space behind. Of course, we have two fast wingers. If you have a team that you have 2 fast wingers, I think you have to utilize their strength. So for us, we wanted to break through the wide area. So that's the game plan that we put up. Yes. Today, like I said earlier on, compare the game against Ivory Coast. I think we were much better in terms of stringing passes together, in terms of keeping the ball in the tight area. You can see we make sure we lure them to one side and then play at least 2, 3, 5 passes before we switch play, especially in the second half. In the first half, sometimes in the first half, it's always difficult for one team to have control over the game. First 20 to 25 minutes, everyone have the power. So most game plans doesn't work. You have to fight, and gain control first. So